All right, let's talk about one of the first and honestly one of the most frustrating grammar hurdles for pretty much everyone learning Mandarin, the whole
是 versus 还
thing. If you've ever torn your hair out over this, you're in the right place because we are about to crack this code for good.
So let's just dive right in with a mistake that almost feels right, doesn't it? You think to yourself, I am beautiful, and so you translate it word for word. 我是漂亮. It seems so logical. But it's just wrong. And the big question is, of course, why? Why doesn't that direct translation work? First things first, if you've made this mistake, please do not feel bad. You are in very, very good company. This is a classic grammar trap that nearly every single person falls into. And it all boils down to the fact that our English brains are wired a little differently. Think about it like this. In English, our verb to be, am, is, are, it's like a Swiss Army knife. It does everything. We use am for I am a student, which connects to a noun, and we use the exact same word for I am tall, which connects to an adjective. But Mandarin, well, Mandarin is more like a proper toolbox. It has specific, different tools for each of those jobs.
But here's the beautiful part. There is one simple, golden rule that's going to solve this whole mess for you forever. It all comes down to asking yourself just one single, easy question. And that question is simply this. Am I connecting my subject to a noun or to an adjective? That's it. That one question is the key that unlocks the whole thing.
And boom, here it is, the golden rule, laid out plain and simple. On the left, you use sure when you're connecting to a noun, something that describes your identity, a person, a place, or a thing. On the right, you use hun when you're connecting to an adjective, a word that describes a quality or a state. Each one has its own specific job.
Okay, the she part is pretty straightforward, but now we need to really dig into hun, because understanding this word is where the real light bulb moment happens. See, your textbook probably told you that hun means very, but I'm telling you, that is barely half the story.
Hun, a dummy word, not always means very, but can't without it. This is the secret right here. Its main job isn't always to make something more beautiful or more hungry. A lot of the time, it's just there to make the grammar work.
So from now on, I want you to think of hen as grammatical glue. It's the bridge that's required to connect a subject to a describing word. In these simple sentences, its meaning is actually way, way closer to is or am than it is to very. It just has to be there.
And this just shows it perfectly. Let's build a sentence together. Step 1, you've got your ingredients. 我, I, and hungry. Step 2, grammar check. A little red flag goes up. In Mandarin, that adjective, hungry, can't just float there by itself after the subject. It feels incomplete. So step 3, we bring in our bridge, our grammatical glue. Hun. And voila, step 4, you get the result.
我很饿
A perfect, natural sentence that just means I am hungry.
All right, that's enough theory. It's one thing to talk about the rules, but let's see this thing in the wild. Let's look at some real, practical examples.
First up, let's look at shit. Now, pay close attention to what comes right after it in every single one of these sentences. You've got my birthday, 10 p.m., a restaurant. See, they're all nouns, things, concepts, places. For example,
今天是我的生日
today is my birthday. Simple, correct.
So now let's circle all the way back to that first mistake. Now you know exactly why we don't say 我是漂亮. 漂亮, beautiful, is an adjective, so it needs our glue word. We say 我很漂亮. Same thing with hungry. We don't say 我是饿. We say 我很饿. The pattern works every time.
And that simple formula, subject plus hun plus adjective, is your new best friend. Take this example. 这饭店很好吃. This restaurant is delicious. The pattern holds up perfectly. Subject, hun, adjective. Done.
And I'm not kidding. By really, truly getting this one little distinction, you've just leveled up your Mandarin game. It's like unlocking a new superpower.
So let's just hammer this home one last time to really burn it into your brain. If you are linking something to a noun, you use sure. If you're linking something to an adjective, you use hun. That's the whole game.
And seriously, you should feel great about this. This isn't some tiny, obscure grammar point. You've just figured out something that trips people up for months, sometimes even years. You can now go out and build so many basic sentences with so much more confidence.
So I'll leave you with a little challenge. Now that you've got this golden rule in your back pocket, what's one simple, correct sentence you can make right now? It could be about yourself, the weather, anything at all. Just think about it, and I bet you'll realize you can say way more than you thought you could just a few minutes ago.